PorkFest, episode 221. I'm here tonight with Jared Schneiderman.
What up?
Philip Dassing.
What's going on?
Alexis Schlegel.
What's up, guys?
And David Gregg. Davin Gregg.
Davin McGregness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming out tonight, guys.
You're always
welcome.
one.
When we were doing the board, I was, it just totally slipped my mind. But, actually this week was PorkFest.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm seeing, all sorts of posts on my Facebook feed from PorkFest. And, some of those, the best posts I think are from Tim Davis in his campground.
How's he doing out there?
Yeah, it looks like he had a fun week. And then, but, this morning I saw somebody posted that apparently Bill Weld is speaking at PorkFest.
What?
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Is it legit?
That would
Yeah.
explain why Sarwark's there.
Right. Yeah. So Bill Weld was speaking at PorkFest. And a friend of mine took a picture of her holding her AR-15 next to Bill Weld, and I commented, "Watch out, he might try to grab it."
That's funny.
But yeah, it just amazes me how short the memories are of some libertarians that are praising this guy. Apparently, some people were there with Weld shirts. I mean, what were these people paid? It's like, I don't know. I just don't get it. And in other news, I was talking to a buddy of mine who's friends with some people who are in the know. Mm-hmm. And he told me that he's heard the Justin Amash rumor from them as well.
What's the rumor?
That Justin Amash will be running for president as a libertarian.
When does he plan on announcing?
Well, from what I've heard from my buddy, he was telling me that Justin Amash's seat is going to be lost anyways because of some sort of like gerrymandering or something.
Yeah, it looks like he already has two Republicans, I think, that are looking to primary him out.
So it kind of seems like everything he's doing is like, fuck it, I'm not going to have a job anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Donald Trump Jr. was like tweeting at him saying like he's gonna be up there pretty much campaigning against helping campaign against him.
Yeah, I think he realized. I think the writing's on the wall. That he's checked out of the Republican Party, and because it looks like even if he does run again for Congress, he's probably not going to get reelected. So why not?
Yeah, why not? I would like to see him run as a libertarian.
Fuck yeah, it's like Ron
I've
Paul
made no
88.
secret about that. Yeah, pretty much.
It'd be and it's what the party needs. I mean, Jesus, like this Sarwark guy. What a fucking
did you guys hear the latest what Sarwark did?
Yeah.
He accused Ron Paul's 2008 and 2012 campaign being financed by Russia.
Jesus Christ.
He apparently went back and forth. You guys, I don't know if you guys heard Sarwark.
Dude, I didn't realize I was Russia.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
I mean, I gave the motherfucker like $100.
Yeah, fuck all the money we put
By the
towards
way, if that's true, props to Russia.
Yeah, I mean, Russia's got good
Well, no,
Russia's politicians.
Yeah, but they're stupid because when they want to back someone they know is going to win, like McCain or something, or whatever, like that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so it all started back when Sarwark he posted something from like a libertarian email, and it had a video. I forget the guy's name, but he was pretty much saying that if you don't support Guaido, then you are pretty much like you're like you're for communism. Like it was pretty much pushing the same line as the CIA has been pushing. Like we need regime change, and it was underneath Sarwark's thing, I guess, in the email. Whatever, it's kind of irrelevant. So then Ron Paul Institute went back and forth with him and was like, wow, like no libertarian should be supporting regime change by like the CIA, whatever. And that's when he clapped back at him with an article he tweeted an article from, I think it's like Vice or Medium or something like that, where this guy was accusing Ron Paul being financed by Russia in the 2008-2012 elections.
Because Vice is pretty legit. Vice. Now This Politics. What other ones are very,
Occupy Democrats?
Very reliable sources.
The Onion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was up there apparently at PorkFest.
No, why?
I don't know, but apparently he's debating Dave Smith.
Yeah, I actually actually heard that Sarwark is actually going to move to PorkFest. Apparently, he signed the pledge years ago.
Really?
Yeah, so
I mean, he's going to move to the free state?
New Hampshire. Yeah.
Huh.
Fuck. First the CIA
What is he trying to
hijacked the
do?
Libertarian
Yeah.
Party. Now they're trying to hijack the Free State Project.
Well, I mean, I think there's been rumors for years, and I mean, as far as I know, they're true that there's some big money involved in the Free State Project, and my guess is it's that big money that likes Bill Weld and got him to speak. But who knows? It's I don't think it's actual libertarians that are bringing up Bill Weld to speak. I mean,
Yeah. What is the what is the motivation? What is the what's the end game there?
I mean, I
he's a
can only
Republican,
I
right?
can only imagine that he's there because maybe he's considering trying to get the Libertarian nomination in 2020.
But I thought he already announced as a Republican.
I don't know how that
Can
would.
you-
I don't
can you-
understand how that would go.
Can
No.
you? Yeah. Can you flip back? And
No,
be like,
no,
just
he's
kidding,
not.
bro.
He's not flipping back. He's still running as a Republican, but I guess they say it's like a liberty-minded person, so they would have a Republican come up there and speak because I think it's nonpartisan actually. The Free State Project.
Yes, it is.
Well,
You're
yeah.
right. Mhm.
But
So-
typically, I mean,
so
it's supposed to
they'll
be-
have any type of liberty advocates up there, and allegedly Bill Weld is one of them. Allegedly,
Yeah. Just
it
it's
didn't
not.
make sense.
It's no.
to me.
It's no anarchy.
That's. I was really shocked. I didn't know until you said that. I had no clue.
I mean, how was he received? Or has he spoken yet? Is it still going on?
I believe he was speaking this morning,
Mm.
and it looked like there was
Sunday
some,
morning. Wow.
I believe
Most people are
I really saw
hungover,
that.
are already gone.
Yeah,
Sounds like a
man.
Creed
we left.
song,
Yeah,
man.
we left at like 6 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know, but it was sometime recently. Yeah, I was just shocked to see that he went there.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Any other news from Porkfest?
No. It's, aside from that, it looked
If
like
anybody-
it looked like it was a fun time. Apparently, I did see that. Apparently, they allowed Ian Freeman to attend this year.
Really?
So yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah, totally.
I guess he paid his debt to society.
Who knows?
What's the backstory on him again?
He said some weird sort of. It was like more of this like weird like walking the fine line between like child, between like pedophilia and like age of consent. Stuff.
Oh, so
like,
yeah, that's right. That's what
Yeah.
Cal was talking about
yeah.
a few weeks ago.
Which side of the line was he on?
What do you think?
The bad side.
The dark side.
So it's pedophilia.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I can't remember the exact same. I can't remember the exact story.
Was he actually investigated? Like they raided where he like podcasted out of, and like the Fed seized his. Wasn't that
did that
part of
happen? I thought it was.
Phil?
I
Wait, do you remember?
I
that?
did not see that.
I thought he had just said some shit on Free Talk Live or something.
Well,
And
yeah,
it was
okay,
really
yeah.
like
I think
it
that
was really
triggered it.
sketchy. Like
Now, okay, so he has a story about how he lost his V card as a young child, and I believe the person he lost it to was overage. And
Guy or girl?
I think it was a guy.
I thought it was a
But-
girl.
Yeah, it's something like that. At any rate, but he was pretty young, and so it was a controversial conversation that, and I guess the Free State Project didn't want to be, connected with him for a while because a lot of people were triggered.
Because
And-
he said that he was underage and he had a relationship with somebody that was overage.
Well, I think
Yeah, and
part of
then
it was
there's
he
the-
was sort of like saying there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I think that was sort of the point of him bringing that up was to sort of
okay.
say like, just the whole, the same kind of stuff that Arvin says now, really, where he's talking about like age of
Nah,
consent laws.
I don't know. I mean, I guess even just talking about it at all, it's got people looking at you funny, So
Yeah.
it's definitely a touchy conversation.
Well, especially like with the
No
the
pun
right now,
intended.
it's like the right seems to think that there's this big like conspiracy to just like, make pedophilia like okay now.
Yeah, you saw a lot
Which-
of like the memes or like people shooting videos from recent pride parades
Yeah, it
and
was
kind of
fucking
I
gross,
mean,
man.
shit's fucked up, but it's like, is that widespread? Is that just like isolated incidents? Is
Dude,
this
I
like
don't
a vast
think so. I
conspiracy?
mean,
to-
look. I mean, you see what happens to Arvin if he even mentions like age of consent. People are like,
yeah,
"Shut the fuck up, kid toucher." You
Yeah,
know,
it's
like,
just
like to say that like society is normalizing pedophilia because of a few like Vice articles.
And there was that like
It's a little-
there was
a
that
little
TED
brash.
talk that they pulled.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
they-
maybe there's some people that are doing it. I mean,
that's just a weird thing to bring up, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, just leave that one alone. There's tons of issues that you can.
Yeah, there's
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what
like,
we've
tons
been
of
saying
hills to die on.
more
that
important
one,
stuff, man.
yeah.
like seriously.
Like, I mean, you have really no room to judge right now because you're drinking from a straw.
Yeah,
Like,
but,
we're
I
kinda,
mean-
like
Hey,
hate monger
hey, hey,
of the
hey.
It's
planet.
also
It's an
a
iced coffee.
paper straw. Can you grab me a beer out of there?
You know, but
Yeah,
like
I
at the
don't
same
know.
time, when you say that's a weird hill to die
Grab
on,
yourself one too.
there are people that are on like the sex offender list for peeing on like school grounds at like 3:00 in the morning.
Well, defecating on public property or private property or whatever you want to say, that's something completely different. Having sexual intercourse or a
Well-
sexual relationship with a minor, somebody that's underage, that's something different.
Well, I mean, there have also been people that have been tried for possession of child porn because they were 18 and they had a dick pic on their phone of themselves from when they were 17. So therefore, that's possessing child pornography.
Well-
So I'm saying like this stuff is kind of went a little overboard, I think.
Yeah, but is that like when Arvin Bora was talking about it? He said he would much rather have. I mean, help me fill in the gaps here. He would much rather have somebody impregnate.
Wow.
Oh, shut up! I can't help myself. God damn it, Phil.
If I had $1 every time I heard that, in
He
life,
would much rather have a 30-year-old impregnate a 16-year-old or something like that than
said
a
he-
16-year-old impregnate a 16-year-old, because the 16-year-old impregnating a 16-year-old would,
can't
that
afford
would-
the baby,
can't
and it
afford
would
the
lead to
baby.
welfareism.
which that's such a
It's a weird way to look at it and to say it.
It's also assuming that like someone who's like fucking kids is gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna stick around for.
Yeah,
for
it's
the rest
assuming
of
a
us.
lot, and it's making a lot of leaps, and it's one of those. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of other hills to die on. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
other topics, and it's like, really,
Not
is
only
this
that-
like is this an issue to really? I mean, I agree with what Matt says. I mean, the law is like one size fits none, just like with like public schools where it's. Like zero tolerance, whether you draw a picture of a gun or you actually literally bring a gun, or like
Maybe
it's just
not
that
Think
zero.
about a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that zero fucking tolerance, and no like let's actually
Did you
look
make a
into
hand-
this a
did you
little
make
bit
a gun
more.
with your hand?
What's that?
I said,
Yeah.
How dare you make a gun
Yeah,
with your
right.
hand?
Like, I mean, there's kids being suspended and kicked out of schools because of like zero tolerance and shit
Gun
like
bad.
that. So it's kind of like the same,
You see
where
that?
every problem you're treating it the same way. It's not. So, but yeah, there's other issues to talk about like that are far more, I think, like important. You go into that area, well, you're just kind of opening
you're
up
just
a can
bringing
of worms.
Yeah, you're just bringing a whole lot of stupid attention. You know what I mean?
yeah, that too.
So.
Yeah, I guess he was like living under the motto of like all attentions get attention. Really, I don't.
I don't know
agree
if you
with
want
the
to
way-
lead or go
Well,
in
I
with
mean-
that one as your top 10 or
Well,
top
he's
20.
a politician. If you're going to be a politician, you need to play a political game at least somewhat.
And I think he was going for shock value, and I think there's some part of me that appreciates that because I don't necessarily agree what he's saying, but I get the idea of what he's trying to say.
Of course.
I don't agree with the manner of which he said it, and we've spoken this on length before with him here. I've said it too, so it's it's one of those things, and that's why he's not the vice chair anymore. I mean, that's one of the sole reasons, and that because he offended the soldiers.
And I didn't mean to just
One of the
speak-
sole
just speak
reasons,
to
yeah.
Arvin.
Only
in
one of the
general.
sole
I'm just talking in general.
There's a
You
few
know,
sole reasons, but that was the one.
Okay.
I'm stupid.
Sorry, I'm being an asshole, but I just thought that was
I
funny.
love it. It's fine. Keep it coming. That's
All
what she
right.
said.
So what are the latest developments with Iran?
Oh, so
What's going on over there?
Donald Trump had planes in the air on a tactical strike that was ordered under the advice of Pompeo and Bolton. Shocking. And the last second, they said with the last 10 minutes, I guess these planes were going to drop bombs on these sites. He asked them how many people, according to him, he asked them how many people would die. He said 100, and they told him like 150. And he said, cancel it. And he said, that's not worth the response, of a down drone.
150
people would die.
potential casualty.
Potential.
Iranian
Yeah.
casualty.
But are we talking? I mean, obviously, it doesn't matter to me, but like civilian or
I don't know if they specify that. Did you
Yeah.
guys hear that? I didn't hear. I
No.
just thought it was just people, like in general. Like
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was pretty interesting. So, of course, this whole attack that Trump scheduled and then canceled. This is a response to I believe it was like earlier that day on Thursday. there was a drone shot down, an American
Yeah, it was
drone,
a global hawk. It's like something like $180 million,
Dude, it's
$200
huge.
million.
Yeah, man. Like there was, so the person that was happiest about that was Northrop Grumman.
Well,
they get to fill another order.
Well, okay. Well, let me get to okay. So I remember on Thursday I believe the first time I clicked on this link, and the link said something like constant updates, and it was a CNN link. The first time I clicked on it, I believe it actually said Iranian airspace. Then I clicked on it later on in the day, and it said international airspace.
So there was
So there seemed to be like somewhat of a debate. So Iran claims that it happened in their airspace, in which they would be 100% legally justified.
Even so, it was still like 12 miles off the coast, I guess is what they're saying. And when the drone was flying over, it turned off its radar, or its tracker. It turned it off before it went into Iranian airspace. So they're saying the last coordinates they had of it was not in Iranian airspace, but that's why Iran shot it down, is because it was in their airspace. They just turned off the tracker for it, so they couldn't prove that for sure that they were there.
Oh, you mean like how like police will just turn off their body cams?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't kill that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he had a gun.
So you believe it was in Iranian airspace?
Yeah, I'll take their word, because they wouldn't have shot it down. And even so, even if they did, say it was like, I forget who posted this, but they were like, think about this. Imagine Washington, D.C., if you were in Washington, D.C., and a drone from another country, a spy drone, was flying over, which was off the coast of Chincoteague Island in Virginia, right on the Maryland border. That's how far away it was from where like Iran would be in the situation. Because it was like, what, the Gulf of Oman or Strait of
Hormuz.
Hormuz,
It was right off the coast when it.
So it was that close to them. And think about it that way. How would you guys feel if you were in charge and someone's military you don't know if this thing's got bombs on it. You don't know if it's a Predator drone or
also too, before anybody listening gets triggered, I want to point out that Alexis is a veteran, so Alexis is our V card.
Dude, he whipped out that V card, man.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, the fact that and then just our arrogance, or the United States arrogance, that we could just go around like, oh yeah, we could just fly drones around other countries. What the fuck would we, like you said, Phil? We would do the same. There would be the same response if anything came close to our like shores.
Dude,
like,
that's the thing. It doesn't even get that far, because we have carriers like out in like the middle of the Pacific.
Like
right? Shit doesn't even get like even close before it gets shot down.
It's insane. And the fact that we're potentially going to war over basically a down spy equipment.
Yeah.
Like unmanned.
It's weird.
Drone. And then so I was just reading an article. So just on basically the mainstream media is basically part of the military industrial complex through probably Operation Mockingbird. You had this guy. This was just on June 22nd. But basically, this was on CBS News. They brought on some former general. His name was, I'm just scrolling through it right now. But he was upset that Trump pulled off the attack. And because of the 150 casualties.
That was Ben Shapiro said that.
Well, this guy.
He did. He was like, yeah, he said that. Same thing.
Damn. I'll find it. But
we need to show our commitment to national security, and an overwhelming show of force or something along those lines, like should have been necessary.
Yeah, he's a retired Navy Admiral. James Winfield Jr. slammed President Trump for calling off the retaliatory strikes on Iran. So come to find out, CBS didn't do their due diligence. This motherfucker's on the board of directors for Raytheon.
That was
and has like 30.
I was like, how many shares of stock does he have?
Yeah. So while MSN pundit slamming Trump is nothing new, Winfield happens to be on the board member of military defense contractor Raytheon. So since 2017, raking in nearly $300,000 a year in total compensation, something CBS did not disclose. I mean, these like every time you see these motherfuckers out there, like we got to stop Iran, this, that, whatever. You got to think to yourself, what do they have to gain from, like, so we launch a bunch of, Scud, or not Scud missiles, but Tomahawk cruise missiles or whatever the case may be. Look who's going to benefit. Some fucking retired, it's like the revolving door in the military industrial complex.
Right.
And it's just fucking insane that people are so fucking stupid that they're going to fall for this again. Like, it's just disheartening sometimes. But hopefully, I think people are wising up that seeing through the bullshit.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody believes that that Iran was behind that attack on those two ships. I don't think anyone's really buying it.
Yeah.
I mean, even diplomats from other countries, I mean, yeah, they might be under the derangement syndrome, so they're like, anything Trump does, they're not going to buy. But I think, honestly, it's an honest assessment, like, we've seen this one before, like the Marty McFly meme. He's like, hey, I've seen this one.
Yeah.
It's
Phil,
the
I would
same
agree
thing.
with you, but there was a passport in the water. And I'm pretty sure it was Iranian, so agree to disagree, you know?
Fucking hell.
Oh, man, it's so... Like, we talked about this last week. It's just no one's buying it, and I think that's a good thing for once. But the Obama years like crushed me because I thought for sure no one people would turn on him and be like, "Oh, you're a liar, man! Like you're doing worse than what George Bush was doing. Like you're just it's like a third George Bush term."
Oh, is that what you thought?
I thought that what was going to happen after everything that went through, like in the first year or two of the Obama presidency, and it blew me away to see everyone just turn a blind eye. And they're like, "He's half black. We just let him do what he wants to do. He's earned it." Like that was the vibe I got from how everyone talked about. Why are you guys looking over there?
No. It just sort of sounds.
I'm making
Sorry.
like what's behind me. But yeah. So, and I just know that. I don't know what you guys feel. I know this is like maybe a topic we talk about later, but I don't think Trump's going to win this election. And
I do.
Shit, bro.
I think too many orange man bads are going to come out and just a bunch of NPCs and just, dude, they're going to do everything.
Isn't that what they did last time, though?
I mean, they're already coming out. Here's another thing we didn't talk about. A girl just came out and said that she was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump 30 years ago in a dressing room.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's
Yeah, that old thing. So
That'll go
it's
far.
just- I know. But it's just they're going to hit him with everything possible. And maybe there might be enough Trump supporters to come out and vote for him again. I don't think so. I think this time I could be wrong. I thought he was
I think
gonna
it might
win the
depend
first
on
time.
who they pick as their nominee.
That's true.
I feel like if it's Biden,
But we're gonna
be.
I
It's
guess
gonna be tough, dude.
we're gonna get to that in a little bit. All the crazy stuff that they're coming up with.
The other thing, too, I kind of, with all this going on with calling off the attack and, Bolton and Pompeo and he called it off last minute. I was kind of thinking like this could be like another potential Cuban Missile Crisis situation where, Kennedy was kind of bucking the military industrial complex, not trying to escalate in like putting more troops on the border between East and West Germany, not escalating, escalating in Vietnam, et cetera, just going against the war machine. And you're kind of like, I don't know. Like he could.
I'm just so confused.
That they're just so hell bent on going to war.
Like usually, I have like a concrete opinion that I like go hard with, and I can't figure out Trump. I don't know if he's playing a game. I don't know if they were
4D
actually
chess.
I can't tell if there's an actual motive. Like I'm just gonna say I was gonna attack him and I didn't, just to make him like carry my big stick, But so I don't know if he's doing that or it was a simple of like. I really don't like the ideas of Bolton Pompeo, but I was told that they had to be by the people who helped me win. I don't know. Because it reads, doesn't it come off that way? Like why he would surround himself with the swamp after promising to drain the swamp so hardcore. And that's how he got elected he was such an outsider and he was going to drain the swamp. And then he just started dumping in more sewage into the swamp and made it bigger than it was before.
Not to sound like a Donald Trump defender, but he's probably also working with the best of what he's got, and that's all swamp people.
But
I mean, you know what I mean?
But I mean, does it have to be guys who?
He gets to pick his cabinet.
bunch of
right?
swamp
I mean, he
things.
has the main authority, really.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
so he could just be like, "Well, I'm gonna pick Ron Paul, and I mean, obviously that's not gonna happen, but I'm saying it can happen, right?
Right.
I mean, he can be like,
he has such disdain for these people when he talks, but then he surrounds himself with people who are responsible for the Ecuadorian death squads in the 80s. Elliot Abrams is in the White House administration. Like it's fucking crazy. Like that guy, and same thing with Pompeo. Like these guys are they're there. Like there's got to be someone else. There's got to be Wesley
pulling the
Clark's or
strings.
I don't know, Colin Powell, someone else besides them. I mean, I'm not saying they're great, but something else besides these scumbags. Their track record is, covered in blood. And why do you keep surrounding yourself with these people who tell you to waste? If anything, this is just a waste of money. I mean, I'm glad it's a waste of money by setting up a bunch of, I don't know if they were manned aircrafts. I don't know if they were bombs off of somewhere. Somehow people wasted fuel and time sending these bombs to be dropped from somewhere. I don't know if it was from a naval ship or from some type of stealth bomber or predator drone, whatever. It was a waste of money. And I just feel like it's like a weird cat and mouse game between Trump's playing with people in his administration. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. It drives me crazy about this whole presidency. And I just think it's enough where his supporters aren't going to, I don't know. I don't think they're going to be motivated really to come out. I don't know. There's still a lot of time left between elections. Some shit could happen. It's going to be crazy. So I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't the slate of Dems that are fucking out there. Like, I just don't see.
Oh, it's
right
bad.
now. What's out there? Like, I don't.
It's
see
really
it.
bad.
Yeah, Jared, were you actually worried that Joe Biden?
Am I worried about Joe Biden?
Yeah, I mean, like you sounded like if Joe Biden gets it, like he'll be able to, beat Trump.
No, I was saying the opposite.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm saying he's basically a male version of Hillary in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I just don't see him getting enough of that young vote that they'll need to really push it over.
I think if he gets the nomination, he would announce Barack Obama as his VP.
You really think that would happen?
Yep.
I don't think so.
I mean, there's a lot of
I think it would. 'Cause
liberal
it'd be
love
like
for.
It would be like there
Get
is.
the band back together.
They would be getting the band.
Then why
back
not?
together.
Why not
Yeah.
Obama then run?
But do you think
Because
Obama
he can run?
He can run?
Yeah, you just can't serve more than 2 consecutive terms. You can come back and do a Grover Cleveland.
Dude, that would be a
thing,
fucking
like-
plot
Oh,
twist,
really?
twist and a
Yeah.
half.
Oh
if
my
Obama just
God.
came back was like,
I mean, he would win in a landslide.
You think so?
Yes.
Obama?
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
Really?
Landslide. Yes.
yeah, probably.
I'm convinced if Obama came back, he would win in a landslide.
But dude, he probably doesn't want to do that shit.
No, he's just gonna.
He's
Dude,
already
all that money
he's already
he got-
getting those
Dude.
those speaking engagement
Yeah.
money. Like, why would he want to like?
His net worth has increased like 10, 15 fold.
Yeah. I know. I know. It's like
There's no incentive
Bless
for him
you.
to do that.
Bless you,
Bless
Matthew.
You know, it's cliche to say, but like people are so concerned about Donald Trump's tax returns, but no one cares about the tax returns of these people who go into Congress making a few $100,000, like $100,000,
$176,000 a year,
and then
annually
now
as a
they're
salary.
coming out as multimillionaires.
Yeah, when half of them are like,
why
coming
are
out.
you trying to get
Dude,
their
they just
IRS?
invested. And got lucky.
Oh, yeah, okay. That like AOC,
They
how
just bought a lot of Bitcoin, dude.
like AOC even
they
said.
weren't privy to anything.
Did you guys hear what she said about raising? She actually voted for pay raise, and she's a champion of the poor.
Her logic is, if you pay them more money, they'll be less likely to do corrupt things.
Oh my God, that's such fault.
Right? If you give them another, $20 grand a year,
They're gonna be
That's
okay.
they're not, definitely not going to join the military-industrial complex. They're definitely not going to take money from Raytheon.
But
They're definitely
isn't
not
that-
going to do speaking engagements when they get out.
Like, isn't that straight up the mentality behind the UBI? It's like, oh, if we give them money, then they can invest that and do other things and invest in themselves with that money. Like, it's the same. I don't know. Am I wrong by saying that? It's just that same type of thing. Like, well, if we give them more money, then they'll use it for good things, and they won't be tempted to take all these bribes for millions and millions of dollars to support their bills and stuff like that. Like, I think it's like the same type of mentality. It's just, you have this mentality of very naive and very stupid. And I think she was just dancing around the fact that she wanted fucking more money. She's always complained about money. That's all since she started running. She complained about money. Like, oh my gosh, I don't have a place to
I don't
live
understand
in
that.
DC.
How can you go from being like a New York City waitress to like complaining about the money that you'll be making before you're even hired?
Yeah.
As a congressman, woman,
Mhm.
person.
I can't afford to get in a place. Really, you can't shack up with like another person from your party. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you can't live in Baltimore and commute.
Right.
Like millions of people do. Not millions, but like a lot of people do.
Tons of people do that.
You can't find a home with your warm mouth.
Oh, wow, dude.
I found many homes with my warm mouth. So if I can do it, she can do it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean,
Hey, sex work is work, Jared.
Like, well, yeah, sure.
$20 is $20.
Oh, that's
man.
another story that we didn't put up on here, but who was it? Who I posted a tweet. I think it was like, I think it might have actually been AOC, or maybe it was Bernie. I don't know. One of those like socialist people were talking
probably
about.
Bernie. Yeah.
They were talking about decriminalizing sex work.
Yeah, it was Bernie. They're all like, because are we? Yeah.
Whatever. Don't
top-
just go with it.
Oh no, but it's the
Flow
same
with it,
thing.
bro.
It's just like all the insanity that these candidates are. It just seems like every week they're like one upping each other. Like you get a free college, and then like, oh, sex workers, yeah, like legalize it, and now the next
today.
is Warren. Elizabeth Warren is basically going to ReparGaytions.
Yeah.
So-
Reparations, man.
Because gay marriage has just recently been legalized, or the law of the land, she's looking at it from like, oh, those that are either gay, lesbian, or etc. You should be compensated because of.
This is her. I thought it was Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren.
We're talking about
yeah.
the Democrats.
Well, I mean-
Everyone's one-upping each other.
Yeah,
It's free
like-
shit.
Yep.
I mean, I think what
So they should
really
get reparations because they couldn't file joint tax returns,
Yep.
or they were paying more in taxes, so they should get that back because of.
Well, what about single people?
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
I know.
Right. What if you're single and does that, it's just opening up Pandora's box. And then
Such
we were
fucking
kind of
bullshit.
joking about it before we went live, but how are they actually going to prove you're gay or lesbian? Like what's going to be the standard to receive said, even if it does, it's all just pie in the sky.
What if I let
fucking-
a dude give me like an armpit job and just like fuck my armpit? Is that gay enough?
Dude, what if you got money based on what you did? Right? Like,
What the fuck?
Like if you just kiss a dude on the mouth, like you get like $5. But if you go like straight up in that,
Yeah, what? How
Motherfucker.
the fuck are
Dude,
you gonna
that's a payday.
Or if you take it, it's like.
Or
double
yeah,
the
if you
money.
take if you're taken, that's got to be at the
Yeah.
top, right?
And if you do a human centipede with a bunch of guys, all those guys get $10,000.
Count me in, man.
And
Sign me up.
if there's so many that they complete a full circle,
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
if you can complete the circle, $10,000.
but there has to be that many.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Oh, for
Wow.
fuck's sakes! But it's just like every week they're just one upping each other with fucking
Curing
Yeah,
cancer.
curing cancer. Joe Biden's gonna cure fucking cancer.
It's so funny, man. It's so fucking funny. And I mean, that's one thing against my argument of thinking that Donald Trump's not going to get
Dude,
reelected.
I think you're just and someone has pointed out, Craig on one of our
Craig's
top
awesome.
fans has pointed out that I mean, if you look at all these rallies that Trump is holding, he's like
Yeah.
filling out stadiums.
Yeah,
I mean that's
yeah,
it's
I know.
only
But
like
it's the
40,000
president.
people.
It's the president.
We're
you
in
know?
Maryland, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah, but he's
gauge
still gonna
Middle
be the
America.
president.
Wait, I wanna
we're
see-
he's
kinda-
still in concentration camps.
Yeah.
So I want to see what those will look like compared to the Democrat who gets nominated. I want to see the comparison then.
I'm
Because
just-
everyone's going
I
to come
am-
out for the president.
What if think about it though. I mean, how many Orange Man bad people are really out there? I mean, it seems like a lot because of the media, but like go and walk around
here's another-
outside of like
Here's another thing that you haven't thought of, and this is something that just hit me today.
How do you know I haven't thought of it, dude? Are you in my brain?
I will be if the price is right, man. Get
Whoa.
those tax credits.
You want
Fuck
some
yeah.
brain, bro?
Get some ReparGaytions. Yeah, it might be. Skull fuck you for some gay
Oh god, dude. That escalated rather quickly.
I'm taking my reparations, Jared,
My ReparGaytions.
So anyway,
in the anarchy basement bathroom.
Doesn't even have a real door on it.
but yeah, no. So, but the thing I just thought of today is, I mean, think about these high schoolers that were like sophomores in high school when Donald Trump got elected, and they had their hopes set up from all their indoctrination camps of Hillary Clinton. You're going to see the first woman president, and just be let down. And then they're like, "We're going to do the change. We're going to be the change." The whole what's that guy that loser's name who probably would have been better off getting shot in Parkland? What was his name?
Oh, what's his nuts? He's a
Good.
Fed.
God.
Hey, I'm allowed to say that. I'm like 4 beers in, okay? I'm allowed to say that. He was in the wrong classroom that day.
Matt,
If you know what I mean.
Matt, did you
Oh,
hear
wow.
that? Did you hear what he just said?
I didn't hear anything, dude. I'm so blazed.
No, I kid. I don't want anyone to die, but he's just an
God.
asshole, and he's living off the
He was making
the
a
spilled
joke,
blood of his
Davin.
classmates. Okay, he's living off the blood of his spilled.
David
classmates.
Hogg.
Yeah,
David
David Hogg.
Hogg.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
asshole.
I'm not saying he's not a prick, but come on.
I know. I don't wish death on people. unless it's
John
presidents.
Bolton.
Anyway, yeah, John Bolton, Elliot Abrams, you can die. Anyway, so there's these kids that are gonna grow up like him. That their life is just so. What are they? Generation Z.
Zed, I think.
Zed, whatever. Like Zed.
Yeah,
Zed
but
word. Don't say the
I think
Zed
you're
word.
kind of like you're.
I think there's a lot of those kids that haven't made their voice known yet, and this is going to be their first election. And you know they're always told, right? What's the thing we're always told every
Orange
election?
man bad.
This
Put
is
on
the
your
most
seatbelt.
important
Important
election
election.
of our lifetime.
Exactly.
Every year since I've been able to vote
Yep.
has been the most important election.
Exactly.
And,
I think,
you know what? I got to get out there and I got to vote because
Exactly.
it's so fucking
Or you'll die,
important.
dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
vote or
You know,
die.
you will die.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Puff,
Vote or
Sean
die.
Puff-
Yeah,
Puffy
yeah.
Combs,
Need
man.
Rock
Rock
the
the
vote.
vote.
Rock the vote, kids.
So
MTV here.
So I think this is where we might see the culmination of that in these kids, and I think it's no one's talking about it about the newly 18 voters like that. That's who I'm worried about. These kids who grew up thinking guns are bad.
Yeah, but how many of them are actually going to go vote, though?
yeah, you
I
got to
think, I
think.
think they're motivated more and more, man. They've been more
Dude,
indoctrinated.
remember when you were 18?
It wasn't as strong. The whole thing to vote was like, you need to vote. Like the whole thing, groundswell. Think about it. Social media
No,
has
it was
taken over.
big.
These kids have grown up on social media.
Yeah,
So
that's
Wait,
true.
what was the
That's
first
true.
election that you were able to vote in?
2008.
Oh, see, you missed.
Well, 2006, I guess. 2006. I was able to vote in 2006.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
presidential was 2008.
Well, see, okay, so like the Obama year.
No, that was 2008. Was the Obama
Yeah,
year.
2008.
Yeah. So I was able to vote for in that.
Dude, there was
election.
a huge like.
That's
That
like
was a huge thing. It
I
was
don't
like,
know.
oh, we need to vote in like the first black dude,
yeah, that was. And guess
and
what?
also
And
like
guess what
get
they
out of
did?
Iraq and all that shit. That was like the big impetus
And
there.
guess what they did? They voted him in.
Right.
And I'm gonna think like they're being taught for years now that Orange Man bad. Like this guy is literally Hitler. You need to get him out of office. This is the most important election of your lifetime. They're going online. They can see candidates like what, like back in the day. Do you guys remember what like the fifth Republican was out there? Like, could you know anything about this guy who was running? Who was in going to Iowa?
Herman Cain, bro.
Now you know. about him.
999.
Now everyone knows who that guy, that butt plug guy is. What's it? Budapest. What's his fucking name?
Oh, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Yeah, that guy. Everyone knows about him now because of social media.
Because he's drinking a 40 ounce with his pinky up. Like
Oh,
he
yeah,
was in
what
his
a-
bag.
What a
He was
fucker.
drinking a 40 out of a bag.
He was?
Yes.
Yeah,
You
he
didn't
was
see the
like
picture?
he was trying to get like street cred. And there's a
You ever
picture of
seen
him.
that?
But he's got
No
his
way,
he's
dude.
got it in a bag and he's like got his like
Dude,
he's
somebody
kind
bring
of has
this
his
shit up.
pinky
Dude,
up.
I'm about to
Yeah.
start making you bitches like brown bag on the podcast.
Let's
just
do
so
it. Let's
we
just
can
get
have
some
yeah.
like
some
Mickey's
cred
and
up in
shit
this
right up the
bitch.
street.
Dude,
Some
it was
malt
like
liquor, man.
Dude,
you look at
this
it.
should be a only 40 ounce podcast. Come to think of it,
Twist my arm. I'm drinking 40 ounces, but they're just in different cans.
So they stay crisp.
What about Edward 40 Hands? What if we do that?
Yeah,
can't-
we got a double
we should
fist.
do
We got a
that.
double fist.
I do.
You
40.
can't
We should
end
do
the
it.
podcast until everyone's completed their 40s.
Jesus
That's a good
dude.
idea,
I don't know.
actually.
I mean,
Oh, fuck.
like I
Two
can I can
40s.
tell you, I could definitely down an entire 40 without peeing.
Man.
Now,
Not me.
Phil, yeah,
No.
everybody knows Phil can.
Let's go down the line.
I don't know,
Favorite
dude.
40.
I feel like you take the
Favorite
most
40.
piss out of anybody
You
on
do-
this podcast.
See, I go like 7 times before
No,
we
not
hit
at all.
record.
you don't
Little-
think so?
No,
During the podcast? I feel like you do,
I
dude.
usually don't. It's
I pissed
okay.
like 12 times
All right,
beforehand.
all right.
Well,
okay.
we'll start a tally of this shit.
No, okay. All right, next week,
Yeah.
bring a 40.
What's your
right.
go-to 40s?
Next week, bring a 40. Okay,
He's the only 40, I think. Or
Jared,
Bud. No, I had Bud Ice.
I mean, if I have to finish it by the end of the podcast,
what would you go with, Jared?
probably like a Miller High Life.
High Life. A 40
That was my
High
go-to
Life?
back in the day.
Matt, what are you going
Why
with?
not?
You going
Coors
with Old
Banquet.
English?
yeah, probably Old E, man.
Yeah.
Oldie tastes like
I probably
garbage,
did they still make Special Brew? Remember that?
What is this?
Like
I don't know, dude. If you really want to go for a good 40, though, man, it's like or the 40. I feel like it's Steel Reserve, dude.
Leaf Steel Reserve. What would you go
Hurricane.
with? Hurricane.
Hurricane.
The Hurricane. Yeah.
That was the only 40 I could drink, man. Like every other one
Skull
would make me feel
fucking
sick. And
re-
actually, funny
Generations.
story, I actually know the guy who created it.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Do they still brew it?
I
I
love
just met him a
you.
couple years ago.
And it's still available.
I think so, yeah.
Because I remember like the Special Brew. That was like all the rage. And like
I don't-
when
I
like
don't-
40 ounces had like a bunch of commercials, but then like Special Brew had like they had all these 90 rappers like Biggie and Wu-Tang like actually doing their jingles. but like rapping
Dude,
and
what?
shit.
Really?
Yeah, like
Dude, we
We gotta find this.
oh, they're fucking great,
Dude.
man. Special brew, yeah, malt
Jamie,
liquor.
find it.
Not only should
Yeah,
we do
Jamie,
40s,
bring up these videos.
let's do 40s and Mad Dog 2020. Straight
need a
up early
Jamie.
2000s style.
Side note: we need a
late
Jamie for this
90s.
podcast.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can just find this shit.
yeah. Well, here well, I don't know if you can't like post stuff in the chat to bring stuff up. Like if I find this and post
You
it,
can't post
real
links
time.
in the chat.
I don't think you can. Well, I'll try it.
Dude, can I post like dick
I'll
pics
find
in the chat?
No.
I'm sure you can post whatever the hell you want. I could be wrong though.
Please.
But yeah, how'd we get on a tangent? Oh, 40s, all the shitty Democrat candidates.
Yeah.
The mayor of
Yep.
South Bend,
Yeah.
Pete blah blah blah
Butt
blah.
plug.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, dude, you sound like you're homophobic.
Yeah, but they
Aren't we all?
it's like it was like his
I'm
Hillary
only afraid
moment
of your
where
homosexuality.
Hillary was trying to say like she carries
pretty
around
toxic.
like hot sauce in her purse.
Oh yeah, the hot sauce.
Yeah, it was
Oh
like
my
it was such
Hot
blatant
sauce.
pandering. Like, yeah, I'm out here on the streets with my homies drinking 40s out of bags. Like, it's like so blatant.
She pulls it out as Hellman's.
Wasn't there a video of like Kamala Harris?
It's like what?
There was
These are mayonnaise packets, Hillary.
Dude, there was like
This
this
isn't hot sauce.
It's spicy. What do you want me to say?
Dude, there was Kamala Harris like cooking something, right? Wasn't that what it was? She was like in the kitchen and she had like an apron on and shit.
Oh no, never mind.
Or am I thinking of Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren drinking a beer.
Drinking
with
a
her
beer and it was so
husband.
cringeworthy.
Oh,
She couldn't even
Just-
like get it open.
Just
man.
having
like,
a beer. Just
having
having
a
myself
brew
a
dog.
beer.
Yeah.
Just cracking up at a
beer.
cold one with the boys.
And then you have Kamala Harris. Wasn't she like trying to pander about like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
she was like, I'm cooking
About
like a
weed?
meal for my husband or something. And then people were like, what? You can't cook for your husband?
no, but also she said that she was listening to rap songs in college that never even came out.
yeah,
yet.
she was like, yeah, I was getting high to like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and it's like, hey, okay, your age is this. You graduated from college this year. Yeah, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg they weren't even like.
They weren't even around.
They were like still teenagers then, like, you know what I mean? Like Dr. Dre was still in NWA.
Wait a minute. How old is Kamala Harris?
Here we could Google it. We can look it up
74.
on the
I think
interweb.
she's like what 40.
Yeah, I believe she was in college in like 1987 or something.
Yeah.
So
It
it
was
was
Right,
before
right.
that.
way
like
before.
80s.
And then Snoop was like, I think like what is it, like 93 or 94?
93,
Wait, but
94.
if she's 40, maybe let's say she's 50.
Dude, you have the
Let's-
answer to
let's
every
go to the
question
in-
is
let's
in
go
your
to the
hand, man.
interwebs.
I'm just saying.
Why don't we just
But yeah,
speculate for 30 minutes?
It just seems like every single one of them are just one-upping each other and just trying to pander to maybe that vote that feels like just they're like, hey kids, like vote for me, and like
Yeah.
they're just doubling down on
Well, no, she
stupidity.
wasn't she like she was like, what's your favorite thing to listen to? She was like Bob Marley, and they're like, what's your favorite song? All of Bob Marley. Like she couldn't
Yeah,
think of a
she couldn't
fucking
think of
song.
one
right?
Bob Marley song.
It's like,
And here's another thing.
I
Wait-
shot the sheriff. Oh
Dude.
no, can't do that one because that was you.
All right, I saw that, dude. Right now, I'm waiting for the one politician who's going to be like, "Hey kids, I can flip a bottle.
Hey, kids,
I
do you
can
like
do the
violence?"
water bottle flip challenge."
Yeah.
and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do. You know what, guys? I'm gonna dab. Wait for them to start dabbing and
Oh,
doing the
God.
what is that called?
the backpack dance,
No, what is this shit?
Oh,
Tide Pod
thing-
Challenge.
Tide Pod Challenge.
The one where you like move your hands
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. A floss. Wait
the
till they start
floss,
flossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit.
Did you do the floss?
No, I can't do the floss.
I don't try either. That's fine.
Overweight and
Oh, okay, so
Oh,
Kristen
God.
said she's 55. So, so
55.
there's no
I was-
fucking way.
I was
Man,
looking
dude,
it up,
she looks
Kristen.
good for
I was
55.
Yeah.
looking it up. I had it.
Yeah. just quick.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah,
She's good for
55.
55,
So
man.
she was
Thanks,
claiming
Kristen.
like, yeah, when I first got high, I was listening to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. It's like, okay, cool
How
story.
many, and how many people since then did you put in jail for doing the same exact thing
Right.
you did?
So she was listening to them when they were really bad, and then like in their basement, like on a freaking
Yeah,
tape
when they were
recorder.
like 7. She was listening to them rap. These
I wanted to be a
fucking
rapper when I was 7. It was terrible.
So yeah, Circus World premieres this Tuesday. So I guess the debates start Tuesday. Are they
old.
doing
Oh,
it two
yeah.
separate nights?
Two nights.
Two nights.
That's right.
Back to back.
Are we gonna be live streaming this?
Oh, we should maybe do. Oh man.
That'd be the 40s.
What you doing Tuesday night, bro? Working?
I don't know. What are you doing, Jared?
Live streaming the debates, bro.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm down.
Every
think
time
I
they
can-
say like free something, you should chug a beer.
Oh my god. We're going to be
We'll
so
be
hammered.
we'll
ta-
be dead.
Right?
Alcohol poisoning, bro.
Any pandering or free?
Just wait till they say transportation's a right and we want to eliminate all of your debt to car loans. Just wait till that happens.
Transportation's
That's
right. Everyone gets a free car. Like Oprah.
I'm okay with that.
The only like bright spot would be maybe
I thought Oprah was going to run. What happened to that?
right. The only like positive.
Apparently Oprah's coming back. Her show's coming back. I didn't even know it was canceled.
Oh, really?
People were like, "Yeah, the Oprah show hasn't been on since 2011." I said, "What?
Yeah.
Well,
Since when? 2011."
That's Ellen now.
I didn't know that.
She's the new. She's the
know.
new white.
You need to
lesbian
stay at
Oprah.
home more during the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, it's called. I have what they call a job.
Must
It's
be
not
nice.
a good job,
A gerb.
but it's a job.
I've got it.
And
What do they
so
call it?
I don't
Gerb.
stay at home, and I had no clue. But apparently they had this poll like saying that she was hinting at coming back to do her show, and they're like, "Would you want to watch Oprah come back?" I was like, "What? What do you mean come back?" And I read the thing that she left in 2011. No clue.
Wow, dude.
news
You really
to me,
got your.
dude.
You really got your hand on the pulse.
You gotta catch up, man.
All right.
Got my hand on something else that's pulsing.
So, circling back to the Democratic. Wow, dude. That's a lot.
Yeah. Well,
It's a lot.
I am sitting
that's
next
a
to
lot
you.
to
that
deal
was-
with.
That was a bit much, Phil.
It's a lot, bro.
kind of like my weight.
He's really going
It's a
for
bit
those.
much.
He's really going for those ReparGaytions.
Yeah, man.
He's
Just
really
trying to make a
hard.
solid case for me. Come, in 2 years.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren, 2020. All right.
Phil's cast his vote.
Phil's going to be like, and then this one time on the podcast.
I voted with my hand in my mouth.
Wow. All right, let's move on.
I could do this all night.
So, are you smoking? I thought that was a cigarette for a second. I was like, "Fuck, dude."
No.
All bets
No,
are off now on the PRL podcast.
It's a one-hitter, Gerald.
Anyways, so
hey, can I ask one thing?
Yes.
Did you guys hear something about a federal bill going through for legalizing pot?
I did hear something about
like,
that.
That's
like
all I heard.
federally
That's-
legalized?
Yes,
that's all I
yes,
know.
a federal.
'Cause I heard
Who's
somebody was talking about
sponsoring it?
I guarantee you, it'll be it'll be racist if it does.
Tell some of the people watching. Tell us
Hey,
about
look
that.
this shit
I got
up.
a point. Like
Jamie, look at
Stop pointing
point
at
to the
Craig.
camera.
Lynn Smith. Look it up.
Lens.
Lipschitz.
Lens.
Look it up.
So circling back to candidates.
Get back to us.
So AOC recently
Oh, yeah.
made a comparison between the what would you call them? The
internment camps.
internment,
No.
the
Refugee camps.
refugee camps
On the border, the
sort
migrant
of-
camps?
the migrant camps.
I don't know. What's a PC word for
I don't know. The places where they're
Detention
basically
center.
keeping
Walmarts with
detention-
fences?
where they're keeping the people who have tried to cross the border against the wishes of the U.S. government. And she has been calling them concentration camps, which has
Triggered some people.
triggered a lot of people.
I think it was like when she was doing a live video on Instagram.
Yeah,
When she does her like cooking in her kitchen. And
yeah, and
And,
not
like,
knowing
people
what a
just
garbage
watch.
disposal
Like
is.
guys,
Yeah.
like we totally.
Like, what is this loud noise?
what is
Like these concentration camps are like so bad.
Like, you live
we
in New
need
York.
to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
For
off,
real,
dude.
guys.
You don't live in like fucking. Oh man,
she's
so
such
dumb.
a fucking sped.
But yeah, so I don't know my thoughts on that. Being the Jew, the lone Jew of,
Yeah.
of the crew.
Were you triggered, Jared?
That's my Jew card, folks.
I
You got
mean,
the J and the V next to you, man.
Would
I
you
don't know.
consider
To me, it's-
This is our
anti-Semitic?
JV squad.
to me, it's like another example of like arguing about the wrong shit. Like
Yep.
okay, you call them concentration camps. Are they legit? Well, what does concentration camp mean? Well, does it involve actual extermination or does it just involve, forceful? Does it matter that they cross? Like all these stupid, this stupid argument gets created, and when in reality, it doesn't matter. Like what is actually going on in these camps, and should it be happening? That's the question. If kids aren't getting to be able to brush their teeth or get 3 squares or whatever it is, I don't care if you call it a concentration camp or a detention center. Like, why do we care about what the government calls something? You know what I mean? Like, what is happening there? Is it justified? Is it ethical? These are the questions that we need to be asking. Not like, well, is it as bad as like the Holocaust? No, clearly it's not as bad as the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Like, we know that. Is it disingenuous to compare it to the Holocaust? Maybe so, but
It's a little over the top. It's a little.
it's distracting from the actual issue, which is, should this be happening in the first place?
Yeah, that too. And how much money is just wasted and spent and like why is this a problem? And it's just like a failure of the warfare welfare state. You
Right.
know? It's like, I don't give a fuck if they want to come here, but when there's a welfare state, that just creates a divide, because that's basically all it is. Like, fuck you. If you're on private property, build a fucking wall. Do whatever you want.
Well, it's welfare. It's the welfare state. Well, I guess this is part of the welfare state, but it's the handouts, and then also the the minimum wage laws that basically say, if you're working under the table illegally,
Yeah.
which you're more likely to do if you're an illegal alien, you're not really subject to you're subject to them, but you're not going to have to really adhere to them. Whereas if you're got a social and
you get a
people
social
know you and you can't really hide because you're documented, then it's unfair, so to speak, for those people, because they can't work for those lower wages if they wanted to.
And it's not even a welfare. It's just the fact that they're guaranteed public education. They're guaranteed this, that, whatever. And it's just not getting to the core issue of the problems. It's just everybody, like you said, Jared, just getting fucking outraged on what you called what's going on down there, and not getting to the actual real issue. It's like, well, how the fuck are they? Oh, it's also the war on drugs too. I mean, think about it. Most of these people escaping Central and South America and Mexico are like basically escaping the tragedies of the drug war that's waging on.
American foreign policy for the past 100 years.
Yeah, exactly. And and all these, so it's just insane. But anyways, yeah.
But I also, side note to that, apparently everyone's freaking out because Donald Trump's putting people in concentration camps. But I'm pretty sure that because it's the same place where they put the Japanese Americans during World War II. And I'm also so I wish someone could fact check me on this, because I'm pretty sure.
Fact check.
But people were saying that Obama used that same place as well, because he deported more people than anyone before him.
Well, at first
Obama
it
was
was
the
like,
great deporter.
okay, the difference is Trump's separating people from their parents, and that's the great divide between Trump and Obama. And then it's like, oh, now these same detention centers are, concentration camps. Are these not the same ones that have existed? Have they morphed into something different? I don't know. This isn't an issue that I really focus on that much, to be honest with you.
It's a trap argument to just prove you're a racist if you disagree with it. If you have any type of questions or not, or any type of arguments you bring up that goes against what they want you to think, you're racist.
But you know what it's doing? It's programming us to start thinking about basically conditioning us to well, what are we going to call our new FEMA camps? It's just indoctrinating us to think well, it's not
Public
really
schools. That's what we'll call them.
It's not
It'll work great, guys.
Where you're trying to compare the Holocaust to detaining people. It's it's just you're basically, no matter what, you're basically it's just conditioning and programming to not get to the root cause or to get to the heart of the matter. It's just what are we going to call these places where people are being held in cages? It's just ridiculous trying to spin it. Anyway, fucking AOC. She's just, and it's so annoying too, because that just draws more, the more ridiculous shit she says, it draws more attention to her, and then people are just doubling down.
And think about it. These kids are counting the days so they turn 18, so they can. And people actually saw it in a post, and this is the first. I'm telling you,
I can't believe how many people watch her fucking live videos.
And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is going to be the Democratic nominee.
Dude, honestly, I don't think she's gonna keep her seat.
I think
isn't she about to get primaried
she's
out?
got too much name, dude. No one's gonna want to primary against her. They don't want Democrats fighting Democrats. She's already,
yeah, but I think she could lose a Republican.
No, I heard
no way.
I heard
not her district in New York. No way.
No.
I heard something where they might redistrict congressional districts at the state level in New York, in the next coming session or something.
Win.
So there's a possibility she her congressional seat might just disappear. I don't know.
So.
That's a long shot.
She's around for the
I don't
long
think
haul.
even the Democrats are that happy with her, though. I mean, yeah, she's getting but she's messing with the establishment.
So did Obama. Obama messed, dude.
Not really.
He took down Hillary Clinton, man. And you know what they said? Fine, we'll give this nomination to you, but you're gonna do our bidding. And the deep state won in that.
Yeah, I don't know if
and
they could get. I don't think
she's cool. Pay me more money. Yeah, totally. I'll do that.
I don't know. I think she's too.
No, she's not. She's dumb.
She is dumb. Yeah.
And
Well, you can be dumb, but also be.
have you like she speaks to this younger generation of entitled kids that think like, well, I need to have, rent is theft and this all this, like she speaks to them by saying, oh, I need to be paid a fair rate and this and that. And she's been complaining about her pay since before she was even in Congress. Like, this is what I'm talking about. These kids are going to grow up and they're going to connect and relate to her. She's young. She's a woman of color. She's going to relate to these people and they're going to fall in love with her and they're going to be like, dude, she was my crush in high school. She speaks to me now as I'm a young adult. I can now. She's almost 35. By the time the election rolls around, she'll be 35. I'm gonna vote for her, and like that, she's gonna get. I guarantee you, there's gonna be like a Bernie Sanders or a Ron Paul style backing for her when she's old enough to become president. I can see it, man. I
don't know. I just don't think she's playing the political game that well.
I think she
and
is.
I think you still have to.
I think she's playing it really well.
Yes, thank you.
Because everybody gives her too much attention.
Yes.
Anytime she does anything,
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro makes how many posts about her a week?
He gets hits because
and the problem is the opposition is giving her more attention, and
Yeah.
that's strengthening her base.
right.
I mean,
You get people doubling
the best
down.
thing you can do if you dislike AOC
Yeah, but the problem is the behind
is
the
just
scenes
not
shit.
talk about her. And I know that sounds crazy
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, obviously she's got some bananas ideas, right? That's such a stupid way of putting it. But just ignore her.
Totally
You know what I mean?
bananas.
But everybody flips out about every little fucking thing she does.
But
Even the social media thing.
Look, I don't deny that she can play social media and the media well.
And
but,
but
the thing
her
is,
tactic is exactly what they were like Trump did. The
Yeah,
opposition to
yeah.
Trump reinforced his
Yes.
base.
You're right.
And so the same
Right.
thing's
I said
happening with
this
her.
is day one.
but that can win you one election.
Huh?
That can win you one election.
Well,
but
I guess we'll find out, Jared.
we will find out. I mean, I don't know. I just think, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in Congress where if you don't, look at Justin Amash. Like, I thought he was like going to be there forever, and now he's gone. He's not like AOC. They're two different people, but I don't know. Who knows? We don't know. We're just trying to predict the future.
She
which
just
is usually-
triggers everybody, man. Like,
Yeah, she does. Well, before we wrap this up, let's quickly talk about crypto. So Bitcoin has broken 10K
Yeah,
as
buddy.
of this podcast. I think it's
let's check, make sure it didn't die.
Yeah, it could be back down to 3. Who knows? Come on, app. It's at 10.8, $10,810.
Yeah.
Dude, I got 10.6, man. I don't know what's going on your phone.
Dude, you better hodl, dude.
So, yeah, apparently it spiked at 11,000 so far this year.
Yeah, it did get up to the mid 11s, I think, yesterday for a little
Yeah.
bit, and then it kind of fell back down. But yeah, it's exciting. It seems like there's a certain optimism back into the crypto market. You have companies like Facebook that are announcing that they're going to have their own cryptocurrency called Libra, which apparently a bunch of Libras got together. I swear this is a true story. A bunch of Libra, horoscope, Libras got together and signed some sort of petition against
that
Facebook.
sounds reliable.
What?
People
My
that
story?
People with horoscopes doing
Oh,
something.
yeah. Well.
Go. Sorry. Continue.
I don't. Anyways, but yeah. My thoughts on that are why? What are they? And they're talking about disrupting the Fed. They're kind of getting almost libertarian about it. But you're no, you're Facebook.
You know
you're
what it's
not
going to
doing
be
that.
like?
No, it's actually. I was researching into it. It's actually tied to a lot of status government coins from around the world.
Oh yeah.
So the whole point of Libra is it's supposed to be a steady crypto.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Tether in that Tether's Tether is linked to the dollar. So
Right.
the idea is a Tether is always worth a buck.
Yeah.
Might be worth 101, might be worth 99 cents, but it's always right there around a buck. So.
Right.
But yeah, and the whole point of this coin is supposedly it's supposed to be steady. They do have noble, I guess, aspirations in that it's kind of made for people in shit countries that have a way to trade. If they have a shitty currency, But but it's also kind of scary.
It's also
It's also kind of
centralized, right?
yeah. It's kind of scary in that is Mark Zuckerberg, the Antichrist. Is this the one world currency?
Oh, it's the mark of the beast.
Yeah, is it? I mean, it's like who knows? you
It's
know?
the
Babylonian
social
Brotherhood,
it's
man.
the social credit system being implemented like in China.
Yep.
But now you
Yeah.
have a currency,
Yep.
and then Facebook's going to track everything.
And if
so
if you get a 30-day ban, will you be able to spend your Libra?
you
they're
won't be
taking
able to
away.
use your
You're gonna
money.
get- you're gonna hit
so
the fine, a
you
Libra
get
fine,
you
man.
get banned from
Yeah,
Facebook.
are you gonna have to have a Facebook account to own Libra?
Yep.
Yes.
You will. Yep.
Then everybody will have to get Facebook, and they'll voluntarily
it's a
do it.
21st century bank account, man. You have to have a social media account in order to keep your social credit score high, which is reflected into Libra. And if you get a ban or anything wrong with you, dude, they'll take away your ability to earn Libra. They'll hit you with fines. They can ban you. They can ban.
How
all
are
of
they
them.
not calling this Facebucks?
Facebook's
That's what we should really be asking.
that's
Libra?
funny.
Come on.
Okay, all right.
Amazing.
So yeah, we're about out of here. So we're gonna take things over to the after hours, guys. We have an after hours now, and if you go to patreon.com/punk rock libertarians and contribute a minimum of $1 per month,
help us beat Liberty Hangout.
you can help us beat Liberty Hangout. I think they only have like 28 people on their Patreon, so we just
Nine
need a
people
few
away,
more.
dude.
We just
Come
need
on.
a few more people, and we'll be able to beat Liberty Hangout.
We're
apparently.
gonna talk about Phil's phone on the after hours.
Yes.
Yeah,
And all
so
the juicy things in it.
all right, we also
Lots
have
of dick
T-shirts
pics.
over at libertariancountry.com. If you type in the code PRL or the code PRL podcast, you will receive a 10% discount. Until next time, live free.
Or die.
Facebucks, man.
1 second, fellas.